and welcome to 100% Footy. The live audience is back and they are ready to go. Can you believe what unfolded yesterday? Perhaps the greatest game of rugby league we have ever seen. Ben Hunt stops by to talk about that epic field goal. We've got Toby Rudolph, Mark Geyer, Kennedy Cherrington. The gang's all ready to go, right? That's a big thumbs up from them. To start with, of course, we have to recap the chaos that unfolded in the nation's capital.
Stand by for an absolute classic in Canberra.
I can't remember seeing Geyer Stadium this packed.
The Raiders and the Broncos here on Nine's Wide Water Sports. Starts with all his power. He crashes over. This will bring the crowd alive if they can cross. Hudson Young. It is a stunner on a Sunday for Sebastian Chris.
Well, there's the hit back.
Try to the Broncos. Leads. He's burned them. He's dynamite.
What's happening here?
Oh, dear. They're both going to the bin. Oh, he's giving him the bird. It's all happening.
Thanks to the president, now you're allowed to headbutt.
Oh, Weeks is out.
Listen.
Canberra has gone bananas. Oh, heavy-duty collision. They're down to 11. They go bang. Crash. Walsh. He's done it again.
Are you serious?
The Broncos are surging home.
What a finish we got coming up.
Walsh, he's hit it towards the sticks. It's drifting towards. Hit the crossbar. No way. This is it. The kick's been charged down. The Raiders have won an incredible game. Having a look at the contact. Have they got it his legs?
They have. Penalty.
It's a penalty.
Oh.
28 all full time. It's hard to fathom what we have witnessed. Stewart chasing through. Oh, now Fogarty. He's going to spin away for the Raiders. Canberra have won one of the greatest games ever.
Oh, no. We know what this means.
Ball goes forward into the Broncos.
We've ended the game twice. We're still going. Good field position here.
Ben Hunt.
Ben Hunt hit it well. It hit the post. It goes over. Ben Hunt put the Broncos into a preliminary final.
I'm just so happy those have got that moment. And man, the boys work so hard. So it's honestly such a blessing to be able to get the week off and look after the bodies.
Oh yes, it is still hard to believe what unfolded yesterday in the nation's capital. You could not have scripted that. It well and truly showed the roller coaster of rugby league, and our panel were enjoying every minute. It is a very good evening to you, Paul Gallen.
G'day, Emma.
Cameron Smith. Hello, Better to see you. Lana Ferguson. And stepping in for Phil Gould, Darren Lockyer. Now, Lockyer, I might start with you because you were happier than the rest of us yesterday and you were in the thick of the action. For everything you've seen across your time in rugby league, have you ever seen anything quite like that?
No, I can't remember a game like it. I mean, the amount of text messages I got last night today from Broncos fans it was an incredible game. The only thing I could maybe think of was the '89 grand final. That was pretty epic. We had the 2015 grand final, but the twists and turns in that last 10, 15 minutes, I've just never seen anything like it. And it was an incredible atmosphere. And if you're a Bronco, it was a great result.
What was it like
From start to finish, Em, I think I said in commentary, I'd never seen GIO Stadium as full and the atmosphere there as good as it was yesterday. It was beautiful conditions, blue skies, sunny, fast track, great conditions for all the players, and they didn't let anyone down. You know, like the Broncos looked gone. They were down by 16 points. I think it was
28-12.
28-12. They fought their way back. They had 2 in the bin. And to take that game to extra time and then to Golden Point and win it in the way that they did. After we thought the Raiders had won it twice.
After they'd celebrated a couple of times.
Tomo nearly sent it to the news on a couple of occasions, but we had to say, no, it hasn't been confirmed that the game's over yet. And so they kept going. It's just incredible. Incredible athletes to be able to produce, that good of football for that amount of time. What was it? 95 minutes? 95 minutes. It's crazy.
Well, the emotional letdown that the Raiders must be feeling. Like, they dead set thought they won it twice. Ricky Stewart was going off his head twice on the sideline.
Yeah.
And
he's going off his head all game, Gal.
Oh, he goes off his head all the time. Anyway, we love Sticky, but they thought they'd won it twice.
Yeah.
And to have that taken off you, like that's got to be emotionally draining.
Yeah, especially that one there. That's where Jed Stewart went up for that ball. We all thought from first look he'd actually knocked it backwards, but yeah, he got a slight touch on it. Yeah, he got a slight touch on it. Went forward.
They got it right.
It's the right call. But yeah, the emotional roller coaster. I was thinking halfway through the second half of extra time that whoever loses this, it's going to hurt.
Well, they play the Sharks. So I was at home just, keep going, boys, keep going. Go as long as you can. And then of course, I saw Pat Cargill that he's going to get suspended. I was hoping Reece Walsh would get suspended. So I'll say, keep going, fellas. And then they've come home and won. So absolutely amazing.
I reckon the Sharks team manager would have been booking flights to Brisbane. Then he was booking them to Canberra. And then he was booking it to Brisbane, then to Canberra. Like, it was out of control.
Well, Reece has escaped suspension for that headbutt, so he only cops a fine. They don't like it in the crowd. Now, there's been a bit of chat, and some fans are saying that's absolute, let's just say, BS, to put it politely. But if you look back on some similar incidents this year, Cam, it's pretty in line with what we've seen. So Morgan Smithies had also copped. This is the incident from the weekend with Reece and Hudson Young.
And I'll tell you what, just from the incident alone, Hudson Young getting 10 in the bin, I thought that was a joke. Like, going up and getting in someone's ear and giving them a little bit of feedback, like, since when has that a sin bin or offence in our game? Like, that's been happening since day dot, really. Yeah. And Reece has reacted to it. Sometimes you get a reaction. That's what Hudson Young is looking for. He wants a reaction from Reece Walsh. Here's the one earlier in the year from Morgan Smithies. So he got a $1,500 fine. Obviously, he made fair contact with that headbutt.
That's Alex Seyfarth here on Reed Marnie.
And I think there was one from, was it Jacob Saifidi?
Yep, here it is.
Here it is there.
Also on Reed Marnie.
Coincidence.
Go figure.
Surprise, surprise.
I'm with you. I think it's a... Look, I'll tell you what annoys me about it. See, the Reece Walsh's actions were intentional. Totally intentional. Now, I don't think he should have been suspended, so don't get me wrong here, but he led with his head into Hudson Young. Yeah. What annoys me about it is you got Pat Carrigan, who comes out of line, tries to change momentum for his side. The opposition player steps a little bit, dips a little bit, hits him high, looked like a head clash. They go to the replay. He's been sent for 10 minutes, and now he's going to get suspended for what is a total accident. Yeah. That's where I get a little bit frustrated, is that Reece Walsh's actions were totally intentional. He meant to do that. Pat Carrigan didn't mean to do that, and he's going to get suspended. Same as when you get guys doing hip drops. Hip drops are totally accidental. Bloke's getting suspended for it.
The incident itself, Hudson Young has to leave and gets the same penalty in a final when everything's on the line as someone that headbutts for talking. Like, we're playing rugby league, for Christ's sake. Like, that shouldn't happen. No, that's ridiculous. I don't know if the penalties, like, we want Reece Walsh to be... We want our best players playing finals footy, so I think what's happened since then and the fact that he'll be playing, that's fine. It's the fact that the Raiders were penalised in the same way as what Reece Walsh was, when exactly right, Gal, his was intentional. I also think on the other side of that, what it tells everyone else that has to come up against Reece Walsh is you can rattle him with words. I'd love to know that if I was in opposition. Like, that's not a great trait to have under your skin.
I think that's already a deliberate ploy by all coaches.
He then come back on the field and won the game for him, so I don't know if you want to fire him on too much.
The sin bin was the turning point.
100%.
Because he came out and said, I want to prove a point.
Absolutely.
And away he went.
And we know what he's like. He's different. He paints his nails, he wears his cut socks, but he's an absolutely fantastic football player. And he can do things other players can't do. And he come back on the field with a point to prove. It could have gone either way for him. Had they lost that game, that would have been the moment where everyone says it's Reece Walsh's fault for getting 10 to Sydney. But he thought, nah, I'm going to change this on my own. I'm going to come back out and win this game. And he did. So you got to take your hat off to him for that. It was an amazing effort.
No, to his credit, he took responsibility for the brain snap, and that's what it was. It was a brain snap. And he cost his side dearly for 10 minutes. They had to work extra hard to try and keep himself in the game. But he came back on the field and he changed the momentum back in Broncos' favour and essentially won the game. If he's not there yesterday, they probably get beat by 20.
Then you've got Pat Carrigan. So Lockie, he's copped a grade 2 careless high tackle charge. So he's going to miss the prelim, but what they can do is get it downgraded to a grade 1. You'd imagine, or we'd all imagine, that's the avenue that the Broncos
I know the Broncos are looking at it, but it's a high risk. You go to the Judiciary and it doesn't work. He
misses a grand final.
Potentially a grand final.
That's a total accident. That's what gets me. Reece Walsh's actions were intentional. That's an accident.
The only thing I would say to that girl is the force is different.
I know the force is different, but he's still the action is intentional. He's still made contact with his head on his head. He cops a fine. That is a total accident, and he's going to be suspended. What I'm trying to say is I feel sorry for Pat Carrigan. I feel we suspend our players too easily and too quickly.
Where they look down on that type of tackle, Gal, is how he shot out of the line. And it started back with Dale Finucane. Remember he shot out of the line at Stephen Crichton and they had that... It was a head clash.
It was a head clash,
right? So it was completely accidental. I think Dale got maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks for that. So it all started then. So if you come out of the line, you make that decision to fly out of the line...
You've got to get it right.
You've got to get it right. But I agree with you, like, that, you know, to miss a prelim final for that, it's pretty harsh.
You missed a couple of big games, didn't you?
Yeah, I missed a prelim and a grand final. For something softer than that. Wouldn't have bruised it great.
Watch this space.
Thanks, Lockie.
They have until midday tomorrow to enter their plea, so we shall wait. But one player who will certainly be there come prelim final time is the miracle man, Ben Hunt, and I'm very pleased to say that he joins us here on 100%. Ben, congratulations once again on the incredible victory. Take us through that moment. What were your emotions after you saw it go over?
Oh, absolute mixture of emotions. To be honest, I couldn't believe we were still in the game. The amount of swings in that game, and to be down, 28-12 and a couple of blokes in the bin, just to be in that position to have a shot. And then, once I kicked it, I hit it sweet as can sweet. And then you probably see the footage. Paddy and I both put our hands in the air like straight away. And then the wind down there had started fading on us. And if you watch our face, we sort of think, oh no, it's going to miss this. But yeah, it snuck in and, the emotions just went crazy.
Congratulations, Benny. If anyone deserves that moment, it's you, mate. But when you were down, you mentioned 28-12. Who was taking control of some of those conversations out there on the field, and what were they? Because it was a pretty big comeback.
Yep. Yeah, to be honest, after, Canberra's last try, Benny Teo come out, he's the blue shirt for us, runs the water, and he come to me, he's like, let's just try and stay positive here and, encourage the boys just to fight in this as long as we can until we get those two boys back on the field. And now we got them back out there, and, mate, obviously once Reece and Paddy got back on there, everything changed. Reece just, dropped it back a couple of gears and took off the young fella, and, he really, I guess, just saved us.
Benny, I thought your back five were outstanding, in particular Shibasaki, who we spoke about on this show last week. I actually wondered whether to even get back in the side, but I thought he was great.
Yeah, go, mate, that was superb. We're giving Reece a lot of raps, today, but I definitely don't think we win without our back five the way they played. I think they were all up around 200 metres each. Dean Mariner's intercepting at the end of the game there to save us. Josiah Karapani, his carries have been enormous the whole back end of this year. So, it really helps our middle forwards out when our backs like them are, starting off their sets really well.
Dozer and Smithy, for you, mate, as a 35-year-old, getting towards the back end of your career now, it's been a bit of a dry spell for you as far as finals are concerned. What was it like being a part of that one on Sunday? I'm not having a go. Facts are facts.
Hey, Benny. We couldn't all play for the Melbourne Storm. Sorry, mate.
Exactly, mate. Sorry about that, Smithy. We couldn't all play. Look, it has been a minute, mate, but to be honest, there was a reason I came back to the club, mate. I believe we had a great roster here, and I had a lot of belief in Madge taking over, and I wanted to come back and play finals footy for the club where it all began for me. And just to be out there the other night and playing that game, whether we won or lost, I was super excited to be back playing finals footy, mate. So it's all coming together.
Dozer, back at the Bronx, the last time you played in the grand final was obviously 2015 with the Broncos. I mean, how do you keep your feet grounded and just focus on the prelim rather than thinking about another grand final appearance?
Lockie, as you get older, you just focus on your game at a time and what you can do to help your team out. And that's all I've been doing this last couple of months, mate. When I've gone into the halves, there is just focusing on my role, keeping it simple, and trying to get the boys around the park and let the guys around us really shine. And everyone's doing their job. Billy's been exceptional. Obviously, Reece has been really good at the back, and our forwards have been laying a really good platform, mate. So, I just got to do my part and not do anything crazy.
And you must be devastated, Benny, that the news today, Billy Walters has done not a full tear, but some damage to that ACL as well.
Yeah, absolutely shattered for Bill. You know, guys like Paddy and Reece and Payne have been, you know, getting a lot of raps the last couple of months, but I think Billy's been the one that's really stood up for us. You know, he's been solid on that left edge, you know, locking it down defensively and, you know, really putting some good shapes on in attack. So, yeah, I'm hurting for Bill, poor bugger. He's been playing some excellent footy and it's really disappointing for him and for us that he's probably going to miss out.
Ben Hunt, really appreciate you joining us. Congratulations once again on the victory, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time.
All right, guys, thank you.
Broncos hero there, Ben Hunt. We've got plenty more coming up here on 100% Footy, so this is what is in store. Panthers premiership legend Mark the Mountain Man Geyer joined us live in studio as this week's 100% retro guest. The Hello Sport Boys return with 100% Dribble. Here's what's in store from them.
Kane Evans' GoFundMe page. Michael Maguire, Reece Walsh dramas after the Broncos beat the Raiders, and a rugby league player gets sent to the sin bin for a dive. You wouldn't bloody read about it.
We announced this year's RLPA Rookie of the Year. And up next, Sharks superstar and the saviour of their season. In his words, Toby Rudolph is in the house and joins us on the desk. We'll see you in a sec.
You can be a flying team, but finals is a different story. I try not to get emotional about it, but I almost can't sleep thinking about that feeling, even though it's so far away. If I can get this done with the team, we want to recreate our own history and give this town something to be proud of again.
You can turn the light out now.
It's about how I'm going to make my mark on the game, and probably for myself, which I try and control, is how much I hate the opposition. Don't see them as someone that I truly like. I've always had that mindset, you know, I've come from nothing, so when I look over across me, I always think someone's trying to take something off me, and I always bring up the analogy to my teammates, and I speak about my family back in Brisbane, and when I've got to provide for them, think of the opposition and what they're going to take away from my family.
And it's a little stutter step here. Just held Mulatalo off long enough.
Create that hatred in my heart for them.
Trindle throws it to Mulatalo! Back to back, he's in for his second.
Great battle out here on that edge. You enjoying it?
Yeah, 2-1, Marky Mark, let's get it. Go out there, we work hard, fight tooth and nail for everything.
Mate, he's had an outstanding season. You know, he's a freak athlete. And this is what it's about, mate. The fans want to see it. The best of the best go at it, whether they think I'm the best or not. I want to put myself amongst that and take a head on. I put my head out there for it to get kicked off, and I won, so I'll take that.
That's the mentality of the Sharks. We're going to take you for 80 minutes and drown you in our park.
Oh yes, Ronaldo Mulatalo, one of the great characters in our game, and the same could be said for his teammate, the one, the only, Toby Rudolph is our very special guest on 100% Footy. Give it up, everybody. Nice kiss for Geyer. Come on down, you absolute superstar. Let's start with your heroic moment for the other night. You got the try, got the victory over the Roosters, and you're making a habit of saving your team because in round 19 you saved them as well with a try-saving tackle. So can I ask, how are you dealing with all of this fame and glory?
Yeah, it's a tough life. I just firstly, just want to say thanks for having me on. It's really nice to actually have a Cronulla forward that can make sense in this show.
It's a carver. It's a carver.
Thank you very much.
That's your one from round 19. That was pretty good as well.
Yeah, that was helpful. Ronnie actually, man, he talks well. I love playing with that guy. He was saying that I saved his week that week, and it made me feel like, you know, I was the only boy in the room. No, but seriously. It's been a really good, it's been a great season. It's been a really good season so far. It's been up and down. Like, I was out of the side for the first 4 rounds. I had mid-season surgery on my ankle, me 7 weeks, and just to be back now and contributing, you know, in some positive way to the team's success is is I didn't think it was going to happen at the start of the year, so I'm just really happy to be here now in business time.
How nervous do you think Fitzy is watching this?
Oh my
about what you're going to say?
We need one of those dump. We need a dump button.
Yeah, probably.
No, but in all seriousness, that game on Saturday night, the performance defensively in particular, is that one of the biggest wins coming out of your camp in the conversation post-game?
For sure. That was sort of what Craig highlighted post-game. He was just saying that we've been looking for that performance for the last 4 years since he's been at the club. In previous years, he might have tried to, pass our way around a team or try and execute some amazing play, but this time around we just realised that no, defence wins competitions, and we've worked on it now for 4 years, and it's time we're finally implementing it into our game.
Toby, you speak about the last 3 or 4 seasons, and you put yourself in really good positions through the regular season, top 4s, top 8s, over the last 4 years. But you haven't put yourself in the big one yet. Is there pressure on the squad to do that this year, or it's just a complete new season focusing on this week?
I think it's both. We are focusing on this week as each week goes past, but the only thing we haven't done yet as a squad, as you pointed out, is playing in the big dance, in the grand final. And there might not be external pressure, but amongst the boys in the room, there's as much pressure coming from us as anyone.
Yep.
We know we have the team to be there. We know we have the talent, the squad, the love for one another. It's all there. It's all it's waiting there for us. Just we have to take it, and we have to take our chance. And it's now.
Toby, on the back of what Alana said, as a Shah sitting on the sideline, I thought you made too many errors in the first 20 or 25 minutes. But the start of that second half, first 20 minutes there, they were beating you guys up. But I've got to be honest, on the sideline, I didn't really feel they were going to break you, I didn't feel like they were going to score. What was the feeling like on the field, and what was the talk like on the field? Because they had all the field position. And they've been the best attack inside the past 8 weeks of the competition. They've been scoring plenty of points. But to me, they didn't look like scoring.
Mate, I think the first 20 minutes of the second half, I wasn't on there. I was riding the pine. But
well, there you go. That's why they're defending so well.
Yeah, there you go.
1-1.
No, I get out there. Yeah. No, look, I think it's happened all year. We've sort of been thereabouts, and we've just sort of maybe had one sort of crack, one sort of error, one sort of defensive lapse, letting teams back in. But I think we're just growing up as a team now, and we just know what it takes to win games, and we're just starting to implement it, like I said before.
Well, you take on minor premiers this week, the Raiders. Did you get a chance to watch yesterday's game, and where do you see their main threats against you guys?
Yeah, I did get to see it. That was just the most stellar game of football I've seen in probably since 2010, the Roosters versus the Tigers in that major semi. Yeah. The main threats, I feel like, are the same as ours. I feel like they have the most balanced forward back in the competition, second to ours.
Yep.
I do feel like their interchange players are as quality as ours, and that's usually where our strength lies. I feel like when an interchange comes on, they sort of lift another gear, but the Raiders interchange are doing the same thing. So I feel like it's going to be a game, I'm the front row, I'm probably a bit biased, but it's going to be won and lost in the middle of that field, and usually is. Their threats are, obviously Papali'i, Tarpany. Horsburgh's just a machine, and he's been really sort of breaking tackles, offloading left, right and centre. So if we can contain their threats, I think ours will go a long way towards winning the game.
Toby, do you take any of those challenges personally? When I listen to Renato Mawatala, he takes the challenge, he takes everything personally on the field. Do you personally do that?
Ronnie and I have had these discussions about mindsets for a lot of hours over a lot of beers over a lot of Mad Mondays. And, he's different to me. He puts himself on the line and he backs up his own words, right? But he's got the talent for that sort of stuff. I'm out there surviving, man. I debuted at 24. I barely got there in the end. The only weapon I have in my arsenal is running hard. That's all I got. So
it's a fair weapon.
Yeah, well, it helps sometimes for sure. Look, if I had the confidence, the talent to do the things that Ronaldo does, I'd say it. But I'm just out there trying to be the best contributor for my team in my position. That's all I can back on.
You say the game's going to be played and dominated through the middle, but obviously there are people that need to decide by how much and own those key moments. What did you make of Trindle's game on Saturday, and also just where he's at the moment? Yeah,
I think Holstein has been unreal lately. I think Tricky's been sort of nothing short of class. He had that week off and you wouldn't have noticed it from him being out there. He got kicked in the face throughout the game and he just wiped it off like it was nothing. I thought he controlled really well. I thought his halves partner, Nico, was unreal. And I think Blake Brayley, since becoming our skipper at 9, has just taken it in his stride. Yeah. I don't know if he's writing pre-game speeches the night before or anything, because they're really good. They're unreal.
Give us an insight.
No.
He He was going to be my next question because he has been the Sharks Player of the Year the last 2 years in a row. I personally think he'll get it again this year. But his game this year has definitely gone to another level. But I got to be honest, I think it's on the back of you boys, on the back of the forward pack, winning that battle in the middle of the field. He can't run the way he runs unless you win the tackle.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you let him know that?
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, I do at times. I think we've identified that when Blake runs, our team is the most successful when he runs the ball. I think there's some stat, if he runs the ball 8 times or more, we win 80% of games. So we realise that we can't finish on sidelines. We have to finish sort of our sets and our tackles sort of in between the scrum lines, and that allows his running game to unlock. And when his running game unlocks, Nico's on the back, Will Kennedy's on the back. You see Ronaldo scoring tries off the back of it. So Blake Bailey, man, he's the key, and you see what he does for us in defence too. Bends his back every time, tackles blokes 40 kilos heavier than him, and he's an inspirational leader. I love playing with the kid.
Well, Toby, one of our favourite segments here on the show is 100% Dribble, and you featured last week when you admitted on air, you openly admitted, I think I'll put it politely, you pooed your pants, right? Would you like to have the final say after they took the piss out of you? Or?
I mean, no, I pooed my pants, it happens.
It happens.
Does it happen? Anyone else?
When did this happen? On the field.
On the field.
Oh, believe me, this
That's
nothing.
cruel.
I've had a couple of drinks with Toby, and there's a whole lot more things he doesn't want to know. No, I won't be telling, because he might have a thing or two on me also.
Maybe a couple. That stays here.
Yeah.
No, look, I had antibiotics. Upset my gut flora and fauna. Having to tackle front rows off kickoffs, you've got to brace yourself. And sometimes it's just, you ate too many chilies or too many oats, or something happened, too much fibre in the diet.
Bit of follow through.
A little bit. Just like the top of a soft serve.
That's enough from you. Cut it off. I'm hoping no more poo stories this week because this is another edition of 100% Dribble.
You are listening to 100% Dribble with Hello Sport. Now, finals footy week 1 done and dusted, Eddie. It was a game of 5 halves yesterday. Broncos over the Raiders. It had everything. It had Madge Maguire blowing an O-ring, where apparently he's going into surgery to remove some hemorrhoids that emerged post-celebration.
If he didn't pop a hemorrhoid, I'm not here, Tom.
They might be internal. I think they may be external at this point. That's rubber band territory.
Good to see that headbutting's play on again.
And they all say the game has gone soft. Well, not anymore. The headbutt's back. The game is hard once more.
And weren't we all, Tom? And I tell you what, never have I seen a more deserving sin bin than Hudson Young. I mean, he deserved that.
Disgraceful behaviour.
Absolutely disgraceful. How dare he get in Reece's face, Tom?
Exactly. Reece Walsh, too hot to touch.
Too hot to touch. Headbutt and getting in someone's face, they're par. That's par.
And
that's
then
par for the course.
Flipping the birds.
Oh, it was pure, though. I like to see a bird get out there.
Oh, well, it was nice. It's been a long time since we've seen a good, honest rugby league bird.
What do you reckon he was drinking in there, Tom? Bit of that Space Jam magic water or what?
I think it was a GIO highball, Edward. Not suspended, though, mate. Good to see Reece getting off. Just a fine, a slap on the wrist.
Listen, Tom, you don't suspend hot people. You don't do it.
I don't want to sound conspiratorial here, Edward, but a hot boy who's really hot playing hot rugby league, you can't have him missing out on finals football.
What are the mums going to gar over?
Don't suspend hot players in finals football. Let them play. All right, now this next story, Edward, it could be categorised under the Marcelo Montoya circumcision category. Did it really happen? Is it true? Is it not? We don't know, but it's on the internet, so we have to explore it and we have to acknowledge it. Now, Kane Evans
of Fold Some Fame.
There's an image of a GoFundMe here where Kane is asking, help an MFer send it, travel the world, and push the limits. His target is only $1,800.
See, this is why I think it's real, Tom, because a rugby leagueman, he doesn't ask for more than is realistic. $1,800 to go and, push it to the limits overseas, that's doable.
Well, so far he's got 0% raised, but what I'm trying to work out is $1,800 going to go that far for a rugby league player on the rip?
Listen, he might just want to top things up. He might want a red line for one single night, you know what I mean? It might be a slapdash trip to Bali and back.
And I think a story that everyone can be happy with, Eddie, just to round things out here, mate. Kyle Felt, former NRL player with the North Queensland Cowboys, now over in the Super League playing for someone. The first player that I've seen to be sent to the sin bin for a good, honest dive.
All right, was a zoom in here. Kyle off the right, evades the tackle. Oh, he's gone down. Oh, absolutely no contact there. Tom, you got to think he spent too long around the English.
Yes, this is what
very
happens.
English behaviour.
We here at Hello Sport /100% Dribble welcome the sin binning of the diver, the Stewart diver.
Do not let POM sensibilities infect the game of rugby league, Tom.
That's all we're asking. Anyway, that's us for another week. Thanks for having us. Go Rugby League.
Go Rugby League. What a game. What a game.
Thank you, gents. Another episode of 100% Dribble. We might ask the rep in the ranks. Should we sin bin for diving?
Sin bin 'em. I'm with the boys. Sin bin the dives.
Sin bin dive.
Sin bin, yep, 100%.
Yes.
Couldn't agree more.
I hope there's no POMs in the room. But
Oh,
yeah,
well.
play on.
4 from 4. Well done. Another great episode from the lads. And we are very proud that here on Wyborder Sports across the finals, we are going to be announcing the Rugby League Players Association Awards. They're voted by the players. The major award is the coveted Players Champion, which is awarded to the most outstanding player as voted by the players. That is voted in grand final week. But tonight on 100% Footy, we are announcing the RLPA Rookie of the Year. And this is the lineup you have to choose from. Some incredible nominees. Robert Toyer there made his Origin debut. Isaiah Iongi. A standout for the Eels, Jason Riles has them humming. Pretty good list to choose
Leka
from.
Halasima as well. Take her from the Warriors. Great young player. Great list.
I think Leka Halasima will win the NRL one, but the players one, it's got to go to Mark Nawanganaitawaze, surely.
Here it is. Marky Mark. Well done. Round of applause. He actually won it.
There you go.
I thought you were taking
No, I was just guessing. I didn't know he'd won it.
it.
Yeah, no, I didn't see his name on it. So well done, Marky Mark. Thoroughly deserves it.
Well played.
That's a
Big
great
mark.
photo up there too.
Anyway,
Can I take that home?
Toby, we'll get that poster of Marky
Yeah.
Mark for you to take
Appreciate
home.
it.
So thank you so much for coming on. Toby Rudolph. Mark Geyer joins us up next, but as we do head to the break, let's relive some of those incredible highlights from Mark Nawanganaitawase.
I'm Mark Nawanganaitawase.
Here's Marky Mark again!
No way.
Nawanganaitawase!
Wow. That's all time.
What a moment! Nawanganaitawase! Oh, innocence!
Excuse me. What about this?
Nawanganaitawase!
Attention of the class.
That is special! It's as good as it gets! Magic Mark.
Everyone can say your name now.
Yeah, well, hopefully. Scored a couple now, so a bit of practice for everyone.
Oh! That is beyond freakish. That's one of the best tries of all time. Got the catch, throws it out the back. Highlights don't stop coming. Has he produced another miracle? It's a pinpoint kick by Walker. He's up.
Well, he's getting his frequent drive points.
Oh, he's a human highlight reel. Nawanganaitawase is open for another.
Stop it.
He's going for 4.
Some people do that once in a lifetime. He's come up with a dozen of the greatest moments I've ever seen. I've run out of words to describe him. It's just freakish what he does.
Well, do or die footy does not get any better than this. Strap yourselves in next week. It is the 4-time premiers. They were sitting last back in round 12 and they are taking on the mighty Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. They're missing a number of key players at the moment, none bigger than their inspirational skipper, Stephen Crichton. You can get your tickets from 10 a.m. tomorrow at NRL.com/tickets. Bring it on, storylines galore. And I know one person who will be waiting on the edge of his seat for this one is Premiership legend Mark Geyer.
As good as me.
Welcome, you're our 100% retro guest.
Retro.
There's lots to talk about. You had a phenomenal career, but let's start with the current Panthers. Such an incredible story. Everyone had written them off halfway through the year, and we know that no one's ever won it from outside the top 4. But what's your gut feeling? Can they do it?
My gut feeling is yes, they can. On their performances over the last 4 years, it's phenomenal, to be honest. I remember growing up, hearing all about the Dragons teams of the 50s and 60s and how they won 11 comps in a row. And now we're seeing a team win 4 in a row in an era where the salary cap is so stringent. Smitty would know about that. He told me to say it to me. So. No, but I just like the way they keep reinventing themselves. A couple of these young kids at the start of the year, Casey McLean and young Milky, who come from nowhere. I think Isaiah Papali'i is starting to show the form that he showed when he was a Warrior and an Eel. And they've got the best player in the world in Nathan Cleary. They're great to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be an epic clash on Sunday up against the Bulldogs, but a little bit of a different story. We're hearing that Panthers are likely going to be full strength.
Yeah.
Mitch Kenny coming back is going to be massive, but obviously the Bulldogs with a few big losses. How do you see that one playing out?
Yeah, Lana, I think Crichton's a big out, but I think what might be good for the Doggies is the fact that they get to play Sexton 7, Galvin 6, and Birdo in the centres for the first time this year. I think Burton's a centre. I really do. I think he could play for Australia in the centres. And I think Galvin controlling the ball has upset him a bit. I think that Sexton is a genuine number 7, and I think Galvin's a genuine number 6, and I think that's dangerous for the Panthers. Kick out playing against his old team, and yeah, it's going to be 70,000 odd people there at Accor on Sunday. The weather is good. The Doggy fans have come out of everywhere this year. They've been great.
There's a few here too.
But it's great. They're great for the game. I mean, they're fantastic for the game. And this season has been one of them seasons. Like we've just, as you mentioned at the start of the show, the 4 final games we've watched on the weekend, just unbelievable. This game just keeps giving, and I'm so glad I'm part of it.
Moving on from this current juggernaut Penrith side, MG, can you tell us about some of the memories you have of 91 and how special that season was?
Well, Smitty, we got beaten in 1990 by Canberra, and we went out and partied a little bit too much at the grand final breakfast.
Okay.
In 1990.
For 90, yeah, right.
And about 3 o'clock in the morning, there was a knock on the door, and we were dancing and eating drinking Dom Perignon. And Paul Smith, our winger, looked through the peephole and he said, "Gus is at the door." And this is 3 in the morning. We're going, "What?" So Gus has walked in, and I jumped behind a pot plant. There's other blokes jumping over the lounges, and he walks in. He goes, "I've just got one thing to say to you, blokes. You've just lost the grand final." And we said, right. "Okay, turn the music up, let's go." But he was right. We didn't pay the grand final the respect it deserved. And the next year we were lucky because we had 4 of us go on a kangaroo tour, and we've seen that these teams like Canberra and Brisbane and Balmain with Ciro and Blocker, and they were just humans like we were. They missed their families, and they loved to drink after the game. They loved to drink through the week, like the Penrith boys did. And we come back with a new jersey. We got rid of the chocolate soldiers and had the licorice all sorts. And it was kind of I think we lost 4 games that year. And we got to the grand final, same score at half time. We're down 12-6. And Royce asked Gus, could he say something to the group? And when Royce finished, we were all crying, saying that we can't lose this one for him. Then I get Simbi in 10 minutes in the second half.
I was going to ask you, what's your relationship with Gus like, and how much did Gus do for the team back then?
Gus was phenomenal because I think a lot of people forget that he was 32 when he coached us to that grand final. He was 28 when he coached the Bulldogs 4 years earlier. Like, this bloke's just the best footy brain that you've ever seen. But we did clash heads. I remember one game in 1990, we played the Broncos, and I'd come back from a groin injury and watching video, some tape, And he kept pulling my name out of the hat and going, MG, what's this? I said, well, I'm not the only one making mistakes. He said, what? He wet me. I went, oh, shit, I better get up. I said, what'd you say? So us two were at each other like the day before a prelim. But that, you know, we kissed mate up and we got beaten that grand final. Then we won the grand final and we partied for a long time. And now you see, you know, there we are there, me and the Gussinator. Passionate man about footy, loves his footy more than anyone we know. But as far I remember the first day he took over from Ron Willie in 1980, Ron Willie 88, 89, then Gus took over in 1990. And he said, we're all going down to Rudy Hill RSL. I want to show you our game plan for the year. And we all stood around these snooker tables and Gus said, okay, all the reds, the reds are a hit up for a blue, for a pink or for a brown. And so we knew what the colour to go to. If someone said a red for a brown, we know to go to the middle. So the game plan was so simple. And black was a field goal. So I didn't kick many of them. Actually, I didn't kick anything with Gus. If I kicked in the game, Gus would say, you're out, man. Like, come on. But no, look, I'm looking at memories here and, you know, even coming into the studio tonight and seeing Penrith jerseys and it takes you back. All I've got is rugby league memories that I love. This game has been so good to me. I retired in 2000 and ever since I've been working in the media, talking about how good it is and how great it is. And it's the game that just keeps giving.
Well, you continue to give to us, and we know you're very busy. You're doing a podcast at the moment as well. So everyone, head online. It is MG Life in 5, okay? And I was lucky enough to sit down with you, and Bracey did as well. So Bracey's the first episode coming out. So we're very much looking forward to that one. Thank you for being so raw, so honest. Mark Geyer, Panthers legend. Stay with us here on 100%. Scuttlebutt is coming up next.
Hello, Emma and all the team at 100% Footy. Sorry I'm not there tonight, but here with a pretty decent reason alongside Brad and Andrew, who are getting inducted into the Stadium Australia Hall of Fame. Congratulations, fellas.
James, thanks, mate.
Tell me, you're here tonight. You've got all the who's who of Australian sport coming out. 25 years since Kathy Freeman lit that cauldron.
Unbelievable. I remember being here for a lot of events. That was mostly the best. Kathy Freeman, the race itself was amazing, but
I've never seen Joey.
I'm twitchy.
You saw Kathy Freeman from a distance and you've never met her.
I've never met her. Honestly, on the way out here in the car, Kate was giving me breathing exercises. So I'm like, what do I say to Kathy Freeman? Like, I'm the same as Freddie. I had the privilege of being here that night, and it's without doubt, what's the greatest sporting, probably, achievement ever.
When one icon recognises another, it's beautiful. On to the footy, though. Our tab 2 tonight, focusing on finals moments. And I guess because of what's happening here for you tonight, we've got to focus on something that happened here at Stadium Australia, Bradley.
Well, the grand final, for me, I had a moment, actually, when Fletch scored. I remember walking back to the corner and all the Rooster crowd were right up and tucked into the corner. And I just remember looking at them and I was that excited. It was already great, but that made it better.
Joey, everyone talks obviously about your comeback game 2 in Origin in 05, but we can't forget you actually won a premiership here in 2001 as well.
Yeah, it was so good. Same as Freddie. Just remember running out and it was just sea of red and blue. It was just so cool, mate. And doing it for the club I love and the people I love on Newcastle, it was just a night to remember.
What a treat it is to be here with you tonight on a special night for you both. Congratulations to you, fellas.
Thanks, mate.
Andrew Johns and Brad Filler inducted tonight in the Stadium Australia Hall of Fame. Back to you, Emma, and the team and that live audience.
Thank you, Brace and the boys, for looking after our tab top 2 finals moments for the week. Smithy, you noticed something a little bit unusual?
How tan? Did anyone notice how tan Joey was then? how brown? He's got some sun. He's been using some of Brace's tan lotion.
He's been surfing. Surfing every day.
Oh, he has
really?
actually,
Surfs every day, yeah. He's probably not wearing his wetsuit anymore. It's getting a bit hotter, you know.
Someone who's not surfing certainly doesn't look like he's fake tan. The one, the only, Michael Chammas, everyone.
Why do you assume I'm not surfing? Because I'm from Western Sydney, I don't surf?
I'm from Western Sydney as well. Don't pull that on me.
That's all right.
What about, what's the latest with the Knights coaching? We think it's going to be Justin Holbrook, but are we any closer to getting a decision?
Yeah, the Knights have tonight confirmed that Holbrook will be the coach of the club for the next 3 years. So it's a massive appointment from the Knights. His experience, the fact that he's coached in the NRL, got him the nod ahead of Dean Young and Blake Green, who at the start I thought Blake Green was going to get it, but I think that Newcastle, the power brokers, realised they needed someone with that experience, and given Holbrook's coached at the Gold Coast Titans before and was doing a good job, to be fair, and was surprisingly moved on by the club when he had him on track for a potential top 8. So that's the challenge now ahead of Justin Holbrook. He's lived there before, he's been in the area, now he's got to get the best out of the Knights. It's
now left a hole at the Roosters, given he's an assistant there, and there's a bit of chat that Michael Checker might be heading there. Yeah, look, this is not a like-for-like replacement, but Michael Checker wants to coach in the NRL. He wants to be a head coach. His name was linked to the role at the Knights, but he realises that he needs to go somewhere, be an assistant, get the runs on the board, and then eventually it'll open the door for him to become a head coach. So the Roosters, Robbo's worked with him before. He was a consultant to Trent Robinson a number of years ago. We know what he's achieved in rugby union, and now he's going to get a full-time role in the Roosters coaching staff. So I like it. Like the guys that you speak to in the Lebanon camp around how respected he is and how impressive he is in and around that environment, I think he just needs to tick this box, show that he can be part of a regular system, and then move into a head coaching role. We've seen, heading into the Pacific Champs at the end of the year, a number of players declare their allegiance to either Tonga or Samoa, but what do you think Keon Koloamatangi is going to do? Yeah, it's a big win for Australia. Obviously, we lost Payne Haas. Australia lost Payne Haas, but Keon Koloamatangi has informed the Kangaroos that he's made himself available for that end-of-season Ashes series in England, which is massive considering there is a shortage in the middles with Payne Haas going, Tina Fasua-Malawi not yet deciding where he's going, but Keon, he'll be playing Australia if he's picked at the end of the year, which I imagine he will be. He was impressive for the Rabbitohs this year, arguably their best player. Is there a point in time, Michael, that these players have to choose what nation they're going to represent? No, I don't think there's a set date, but I think the NRL or the ARL are sending out letters to clubs wanting medical information on players and whether they're fit or not. So they've got to give an indication whether or not they can be picked. I think everyone's pretty respectful that if they're not going to play, they would rather play for Tonga or Samoa, then they'll let the Australian Rugby League know. Well, I think there's a lot of players are going to wait till the end of the season to make their decision. Katoni Staggs is another one. Yeah. Tino, well, his season's over, but I would assume that he has to make a decision pretty quickly. Yeah. What about a story you broke this afternoon? So the Broncos prelim, that's going to be on a Sunday afternoon. A break from tradition. Yeah, look, I loved what we saw the other day. It's Canberra versus the Broncos on a Sunday afternoon, and we get that this week with the Bulldogs and the Panthers. And the NRL's decided they want to continue it. They want Sunday afternoon footy. The catch, though, is the fact that they're going to have to play the Melbourne Storm, their prelim against either the Raiders or the Sharks, on Friday night at Amy Park. The AFL Grand Final's the next day. You don't want to go head-to-head with that. So the NRL's decided to play the Broncos Sunday afternoon against the Bulldogs or Panthers, which means the following week into a Grand Final, it's going to be a 9-day turnaround for either the Storm or the teams they're playing, and a 7-day turnaround for the Bronx or whoever they're playing. Are you surprised at that? Because even this week, for example, Canberra played yesterday and they'll play next Saturday night. It's a 6-day turnaround. Are you surprised that they haven't looked at giving teams at least a 7-day turnaround? I think that was out of the request of the Raiders, though. Yeah. They wanted Sunday this week. Yeah, but now they're going to have a 6-day turnaround after a 95-minute game. I don't know how happy they'd be about that. I guess that's the danger of what they did. If they had played on Saturday, which was the NRL's original intention, they would have had a 7-day turnaround this time around. The fact is they lost. They now have a 6-day turnaround. I think the NRL was right to give the Raiders what they wanted. They're the minor premiers. You give them a 7-day turnaround. They thought their best chance is win week 1, go through to a prelim at home and deal with it later. But unfortunately, we know the result yesterday. And just finally, Tommy Turbo, surely he's not leaving Manly. Meeting this week, his management's going to meet with the club. They're going to outline their expectations around a contract extension when you know he's a November 1 free agent. If they're aligned in the view and the value of Tom Trbojevic, I think he stays. There's no doubt he has concern around the club and the way it's headed and some of the political issues at the club and their performances on field. But if he's not, he won't play against Manly, but he is open to leaving to go to the Super League. I think that the fact that we've got someone here at the moment, I'm normally grilling Gus about what's going on in his club. Now I can grill Lockie about what's happening at the London Broncos. But I imagine there won't be any shortage of suitors for Tom Trbojevic if he decides to go to England. Oh, he'd be awesome in the Super League. I guess
he's got to get his body right. I feel like he looks like he's fit, but he just hasn't. I don't know whether it's a mental thing or a physical thing, but he's definitely not playing to his full potential. I mean, it wasn't 3 years ago that you couldn't stop him, you couldn't tackle him, but he would light the Super League up. You know, if he's available, then I think a lot of clubs over there would be trying to find some money for him.
Burton as well, big news out of Bulldogs. Burton will play centre, Toby Sexton and Galvin in the halves. So that's how they'll be named tomorrow.
All the big news. Another great edition of Scuttlebutt Central everyone. Well done, Michael Chamis. Stay with us here on 100% Footy. The NRLW finals are locked in, and Kennedy Cherrington is in the house. Oh yes, time for our cash converters conversion of the week, and we have to give it to Lauren Brown. They made it tough for themselves, but she was cool, calm and collected as ever. This field goal in Golden Point sent the Titans into the top 6, which means they will be playing finals in season 2025. But unfortunately, that means that our very special guest, Kennedy Cherrington, hello to you, and I'm really sorry.
Well, let's rephrase that. That kick ruled us out of finals.
Yes, it did. So it means you're gone.
Imagine the whole team watching it and then watching your whole finals experience disappear in 30 seconds.
But you had to win on Friday, and you had an epic win over the Dogs, so you were in the box seat.
Yeah, shout out to Gussie Gould. Where is he? Couldn't show up after the game. So sorry. Double L for the club. We finished on a high. I'm really grateful. So we take that momentum into next year. But yeah, a few early losses in the season. That's footy.
Yep. And now it seems everyone's been saying that it seems to be a 2-horse race between the Roosters and the Broncos.
Who said that?
They have everyone. Are you saying that?
Well, it's origin in a different form, guys. Come on.
Yeah. But a big blow for the Roosters' premiership hopes. This is really difficult to see. Taryn Aiken, it's been confirmed she's done her ACL. Alana, first off, I mean, we hope she's doing okay. You spoke to her today, but what does that do for the Roosters' premiership charge?
Well, look, I actually thought when we're in Gosford, the way that the Roosters reacted, and on the run too, because it obviously happened during that game. Look, they still didn't have Corbin Baxter, who was an easy slot in into the halves, likely. Brady Parker's at fullback, or it doesn't really matter what way they rotated. I thought first and foremost on the run, the way that the Roosters handled that game. I'm still convinced they're in the top 2, but also for finals, like they'll get a week off. So we're looking at the Roosters and the Broncos box seat, absolutely. But after that, it's elimination footy. So there are still a few other teams that can rattle them. It definitely changes things for the Roosters. I think what it also does is changes the prospects for Queensland next year. That's another big one for me. So, but a huge loss. For me, it's her and Tamika Upton that are the best 2 players in the game at the moment. I actually probably had Taryn Aiken as number 1. So devastating for women's footy. For Taryn Aiken, we wish her all the best. But I've still got the Roosters up there in the grand final.
Well, Alana, you just said, I think that's what the Roosters do have on their side is time. Yeah. They don't play for
17 days.
17 days, that's a fair break.
Friday to Sunday.
So they've got time to actually build that new combination in the halves, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. Like we said, hate to see Taz down. She had a tough start coming out of Origin injured to then end up injured again. Feels, for a talented player like Taz. But yeah, for Queensland as well, she'll miss the Origin period depending on her rehab. So hope to see her back in potential Roosters finals and hopefully World Cup with my teammate. Yeah.
If there is a dark horse though, if there's a team from 3rd to 6th, Cowboys.
Yep. You think Cowboys?
Yep. Sorry.
Even after the game on the weekend.
Yeah,
I think I've got Knights. I've got Knights as the dark horse. Yeah. But I love it. Bring it on.
Somebody different. Cows.
Yeah, I love it. Great.
Even though, so it was 2nd up against 3rd, and the Broncos annihilated them.
A few cobwebs, guys. Not how you start. It's how you finish. So let's go Cows.
What about the Sharkies?
You got the Sharkies, my friend.
Grand finalist last year. You're a former Sharkie. Come on, Fergo.
Well, I'd love it to be the Sharkies. I just think probably the Knights are the team that could rattle the other 2 the most. I think they've got, I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced about the outside backs of the Cronulla Sharks at the moment. When they get it right, they look good, but I don't know. I just think it's the Knights. But truthfully, I think Roosters Broncos are elite.
Yeah, I think they're a cut above the rest. But I think was it Newcastle? Was it 3 weeks ago? They had the Broncos rattled early.
Yeah.
I think they had them. It was 12-0 after about 15 minutes, and then they started making some errors and a bit of ill discipline, and the Broncos just went bang, 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 and I think they ended up winning by about 40 points. But yeah, I think Newcastle might be a bit of a smoky.
Well,
you call it, guys. We'll see.
Okay.
Up the cows.
Players? Up the cows. If it's not the Eels, up the cows, eh?
Yeah,
Kennedy, sorry about the way
That's
everything
all right.
unfolded,
I'll
but
forgive
we
you.
certainly appreciate her coming in despite the devastation. Welcome back anytime on 100% Footy. We're going to wrap it all up after this short break. Yes, welcome back to 100% Footy. Hope everyone has been enjoying the show. You would have noticed that Phil Gould isn't here tonight because one of his great mates and a pioneer player-manager, Wayne Beavers, unfortunately, overnight, lost his long health battle. So on behalf of everyone here at Wide World of Sports, sending our love and thoughts to his family and friends. And just to finish off the show, our tips for Do or Die Footy next week. So Panthers, Dogs, Raiders, Sharkies. Paul Gallen, you can start us off.
Panthers and the Sharkies. Very certain.
Cameron Smith.
I'm going to go Raider Panther. Yeah.
Thoughts? Alana Ferguson. This is a difficult one for your household.
No, it's working, Gal. It's working. I'm going Penrith Panthers and I'm tipping the Raiders. The Sharkies win. It's worked. I'm going for 3 weeks in a row. Every time I tip against them, they win. All season.
Is that your tactic?
All season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Darren Lockyer.
So I think Nathan Cleary will ice the game against the Dogs, and I think the Sharks will be on Mad Monday.
Gallen didn't like that. We will have to see. Lockie, thank you for coming on. I hope everyone enjoyed the show. James Bracey will be back next week. Enjoy your finals footy, everyone.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.